Órale. Parece que trajeron mucha electricidad.
Too much.
El grupo Solido.
They broke the servers.
Quebraron los servers. Se puso bien. Tuvimos que ponerle foil paper la antena allá afuera. Una papa. Porque el pinche Elon Musk estaba estirando mucho el Starlink y la chingada. Entonces, ya mero ¿cómo dices? Absorbábamos. Ay, güey, la chingada esa palabra. Es palabra ese jale.
Probably not.
Ya mero absorbábamos todo Brownsville. Asústame one time. Let's start this all over again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to #PBT Thursday Night Live. And ladies and gentlemen, it's brought to you by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. If you feel sluggish, tired, gain weight, and are looking for a primary care clinic to help improve your quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. They handle your primary care needs. They'll help you lose weight, get you feeling younger and healthier again. 1-855-771-1650 and 956-441-2188. www.drts.com. It's DOCTORTS.com. And I was saying, si no han estado dándole una buena revolqueada a la esposa o a la novia o las novias, porque pues no tengo ganas, no tienes nada de ganas. A lo mejor estás abajo en el testosterone department y pues vas para Dr. T's y te dan un testosterone shot y pues entonces tienes que hacer unos cuantos nuevos exercises, ladies and gentlemen, unos exercises para que sepan todos lo que tienes que hacer, la nueva exercise regimen de Dr. T's. Mira nomás.
Solo.
Jax is doing online classes.
Online enrollment.
Lo que pasa es porque mira, y de ahí comienzas como con el Jack Rabbit, ese es el mero ahí, el Jack Rabbit.
Jack's Rabbit.
El mero está bien enganchado al TV, lo guachaste ahí, está bien enganchado al TV.
That's a heck of a commercial, as I said. One hell of a commercial.
Lo que pasa es que te vas por un desierto porque no hay agua, ¿me entiendes? Y pues ese es el sexo en la vida en veces, ¿me entiendes? Se hace un desierto, ¿me entiendes? Y de ahí de repente se llega un momento que a la madre vamos a hacer el sexo y la chingada. Entonces jale. Y en la mañana te levantas, oye, ¿por qué me duele esto acá? Ay, que la chingada.
Está dolorido.
Oye, ¿por qué why are my ankles sore? Porque estás trabajando músculos que no ibas trabajando en un buen tiempo, ¿me entiendes? Hay unos que les dicen el mesero porque nomás una vez por mes lo hacen, ¿me entiendes? Eso le dicen el mesero. Si eres uno de los meseros, tienes que ir a ver a Dr. T's Primary Care for Men, ¿ok? Y ya sé que ahorita las mujeres están viendo, viejo, te voy a hacer una cita mañana.
Hay meseras
temprano. Abren a las 8, te quiero ir a las 7. ¿Verdad que sí? Ladies and gentlemen, we also want to thank Chorizo de HyH. Asústame one time. Local family brand, Los Hinojosa. Un saludo para Libo y toda su familia. Same great taste as you grew up with. Leaner, less fat than others. Not just for breakfast and not nice kick también. It's not too spicy. Tú sabes, guys, cuando estás haciendo el chorizo y te comienza a brincar en la camisa y todo, comienza a saltar y la chinga. Este chorizo no hace eso, papá. ¿Entiendes la onda? So, yeah, it's amazing. Look at that. Un choriqués, un taquito. Oye, Ben y Rolo, ¿a ustedes les gusta el chorizo? ¿No?
¿Cómo dices tú?
Pues tú sabes.
Por las mañanas, dice. No le gusta, le encanta.
You can find Chorizo HyH Aguilar's Meat Market in Edinburgh, Mission, and San Juan. You can also find at Lopez Supermarkets in Brownsville, Los Fresnos y San Benito. Y también en Carnicería del Valle, Brownsville, Harlingen. También un saludito para todos los de Harlingen y Brownsville, ¿verdad? Charlie's Meat Market en Elsa. Un saludito para Charlie también. Lord and Moe's Meat Specialty Shop en Harlingen también. And Los Naranjos Meat Market, They're at Los Naranjos Meat Market in Dana and Westlaco. Ahí tienen el chorizo de HyH. Primera Meat Service también in Harlingen. Ruben's Grocery in McAllen. We got a picture of Ruben at Ruben's Grocery. It's one of those groceries that is in the middle of a neighborhood in McAllen, man. You go there and they've got some amazing meat and, of course, Chorizo HyH. Veras King of Meats también in Edinburgh, Dana y Westlaco, ladies and gentlemen. Y pues nos han estado llamando de que por qué no está en el H-E-B. Pues ustedes tienen que ir a ver el carnicerío ahí en el H-E-B y demandar que pongan chorizo de HH porque es el chorizo más sabroso de todo el mundo. Okay. Órale. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of hashtag PVT, you have a business or a product, all you have to do is text us 956-641-3241. Today we have Dr. T's and Chorizo de HH. We still have room for 2 more. On Tuesday we have room for 2, as a matter of fact, 2 more endorsements. Wednesdays we're totally packed, okay? So we can't take any on Wednesday. But Tuesday, Thursday, there's opportunity for you to reach an entire audience all over the United States, Texas, and Mexico, and the Rio Grande Valley, all right? So, all right. So let me introduce the guy next to me, Jax Phoenix. He's going to be taking care of the chat zone. If you've got any type of questions or comments, this is the guy to do it. What's going on, Jax? How you doing, bro?
I missed y'all, man. I missed y'all.
We missed you.
Happy Father's Day. I didn't see you on Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, you guys, too. It's a pleasure to be in the presence of greatness right now, Grupo Solido. And hello to producer Rally in the house.
Hey.
And Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here with us. And for those of you that don't know how this works, hello, I am Jax to the max. And I am here. I take care of the chat zone. That's what I do. I take care of the chat zone. If you have any questions for our guests, I relay them your questions. So let us know where you're watching from. I'm getting a little jittery right now because I am literally nervous that Solido is in front of me right now. I'm a big fan of Solido, guys. So excuse me if I get a little, you know what I mean?
Órale.
So saludos a toda la raza que está mirando. D Kings, Rick, Rody, Sal in the house, Victoria Garcia, Joey Nojosa from Eagle Pass, Felipe Menchaca, Jerry Rodriguez, and South Texas Roughneck. Welcome. And all of y'all that are watching, Lisa R, Multi-Transportation, Chris Salinas, thank you for watching us tonight.
También un saludito para la familia Tez de Rankin, Texas. Ahí vamos a estar el sábado. We're going to be DJing. I'm going to be MCing, and we're going to have a lot of fun. We're taking off Saturday morning. We should be in Rankin, Texas about 4 in the afternoon.
Yes.
And Rankin, Texas is a population of 700 people, something like that. So
everyone's going to be at the DJ at the party.
Si llenan el salón, no llenan ni el salón allá. That county has 3,300 people, I think, something like that. So it's a small community, but man, we're going to tear that place up. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be fun.
And we've got our beautiful producer right here.
Oh my
Rally.
gosh, I barely made it on time. We came in separate vehicles today because I've been super busy all day. But thank you guys and welcome to the gentlemen here. And those of you guys that are on the chat, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
We've got the mayor from Rio Grande City, Mayor Villarreal. Mayor, welcome to the show, Dad.
Hey, thank you so much for the invite, and it's great to be here. And by the way, Rio Grande City is a great place to live, to work, and to forge that American dream. And I'm glad to be here. And by the way, we have Commissioner Ben De Leon with us today.
Commissioner Ben De Leon. Y no vestidito, India queda con sports coat y la chingada lo quita sports coat. Es commissioner. Es commissioner.
Very handsome.
¿Qué pasó, Ben? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good. Un saludito a toda la raza. Ben De Leon, vocalista Grupo Sólido. Grupo Sólido y pues también ahora comisionado de la ciudad de Rio Grande. Gracias a toda la gente que me apoyaron.
Qué bonito, man. And we've got Rolo here with us también. Rolo, how you doing, man?
Thanks for inviting us, Rock. Hombre, pues aquí andamos.
Yeah.
Lo mismo, yes, sir.
And ladies and gentlemen, we're here for a reason because next Saturday, man, Stark County is the place to be. Check out this commercial we put together, and then we'll come back with it. It's Freedomfest. Check it out. I love it.
Rio Grande City Freedom Fest, Saturday, July 2nd at the Basilio Villarreal Park with T-ball and softball tournament, a barbecue cook-off, food and craft vendors, free kiddie rides, with a massive fireworks show with Grupo Signo, with special guest Chris Perez, Rio Grande's very own Grupo Solido. Latin Vibe y Grupo Inevitable. Rio Grande City Freedom Fest, Saturday, July 2nd. Bring the whole family. Free for all ages. Rio Grande City's gonna hit it out of the ballpark.
Rio Grande City Freedom Fest!
Payaso.
Déjame decirle a todo nuestro auditorio que yo le pegué a 3 bolas. Yo le pegué a 3 bolas.
De 100, dije.
I don't know how many.
We went over there. Let me tell you, first off, Mayor, that's a beautiful baseball park you have in Rio Grande City, man. It's awesome.
It is. The school district has done a phenomenal job with facilities, and in fact, that is one of the most beautiful parks there is in certain areas around the country, for that matter.
I've never seen a park like that around here. I mean, I've been to a few, but man, that one really blew me away. The turf. The size of it, the cleanliness of it. I mean, it's just beautiful, man. It's a wonder. It looks like a pro baseball park. That's what it looks like.
And more importantly, you hit some home runs out there, right?
Pues no hice home run, pero le pegué el número 375. I mean.
Yes, you did.
That was in Babe Ruth.
Yeah, no. When I got there, ladies and gentlemen, all right, Jesse was there, and de volada me comenzó a reprimand y la chinga. You're late. We're waiting for rock and roll James. Le dije, hey, bro, acabas de llegar tú, carnal. Y digo, no, ¿qué sabe qué? Y de ahí I put Rolo on the spot. No, ¿sabes qué me dijo Rolo?
I know.
Cuando hablé con
él,
dije, well, Jesse just said he's about 5 minutes away, which means it's 20 minutes. Y Rolo, no, but I'm sorry, Rolo. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that.
No pasa nada.
Pero de ahí de volada they gave me the bat, go and hit the ball. Y pues chinga, no le pude pegar ni una chingada.
When was the last time you had batted?
Chihuahua.
T-ball?
The last time I batted, probably, bro. And even like that, I couldn't hit the ball, bro. I've never been athletic. I've never been a sports guy. Were you guys into sports and stuff in school?
Little bit.
¿Sí?
Yeah.
¿Qué jugaban o qué? ¿Baseball, football? ¿Qué onda?
Baseball, Little League.
Baseball, Little League, pero en high school, ¿no?
Band.
En band.
Yo estaba en band.
No, ¿you jugué fútbol?
Ben sí
High
jugaba.
school. Yeah.
¿Sí? ¿Jugaste fútbol?
Yes, sir.
¿Y qué jugabas, Ben?
Lineman.
Lineman?
Right tackle.
Órale, pues you're a big guy,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Man. How was it playing football for the Rio Grande City Rattlers, bro?
I mean, well, back then we didn't win that many games, but
Yeah.
it was awesome.
Era escuela chiquita. I
loved it,
mean,
yeah.
it's a small school, right?
We were
I mean,
4A, 3A.
pues le jugaban a Mercedes y a Ed Couch y todo eso, ¿verdad? Y Roma también, Rio Grande y Roma.
Sí.
Jugaban
Los
contra
rivals
Roma.
eran los
Contra
rivals,
la joya de the rival.
La Joya. ¿Y quién ganó? Oye, la Joya era fuerte en veces, ¿no? They had a pretty tough. And I freak out because they're such a small community, but they had a strong team, man, ¿verdad? Y
Chile, tomate,
Chile, tomate y cebolla, todos le ganan a nadie le gana a la Joya, no todos le ganan a la Joya. So with the Roma Rio Grande rivalry también, Mayor, who has the more wins on that rivalry, the Roma y Rio Grande?
It depends who you ask, right? If you ask the mayor from Roma, of course you would say Roma, but if you ask the mayor of Rio Grande City, absolutely Rio Grande City.
Who the hell's gonna look up the record anyway, right?
Yo gané y es todo.
Yeah, man. So Freedom Fest, it's coming around a week from Saturday. And, man, tell us a little bit about that, Mayor. It's something that's just awesome. You guys been doing it for a while, right?
Yes, we have. And in fact, it's been great. Started back in 2015 and slowly started building it. And then we became partners here with Grupo Solido, which really transformed that event from that point on. And I know they don't want to say this, and they haven't said that, but they've done it for free, in a sense, which has been great. And
Pues ahí están en la
has driven
casa,
it.
which is, it's a good thing to do.
Kudos to them that they wanted to give back to our community, and they did, and they've done an awesome job. And in fact, of course, winning a Grammy, here hometown, and then slowly started making it bigger and bigger. And I believe that that's going to be our signature event from here on out.
Sí.
Solido, Rio Grande City, and of course now Commissioner Ben de Leon,
Yeah.
the great city of Rio Grande
Yeah.
City. And it's wonderful.
¿Y qué hace el commissioner ahí en Rio Grande, Ben? ¿Qué son tus duties ahí?
I'm still trying to figure it out.
You're still trying to figure it out. Yeah, because I mean,
process.
they've told me, like, hey, you should run for something. Y que la chingada. Le dije,
Oh,
no
my
me
goodness.
cállate, me van a sacar más chingaderas a mí que. Y todas son verdad. Yeah,
I can't deny it.
But you know something, I just want to add that if you haven't visited Rio Grande City in a while, please come out and visit us because there has been so much growth. We have transformed Rio Grande City, and right now we have so many businesses coming in. In fact, next week we'll be having a groundbreaking for a medical development as well and business. And you're talking about high-end retail as well and
restaurants and hotels,
restaurants and you name it. I mean, so, and of course, Freedom Fest. Can't go wrong with Freedom Fest. It is free. It is great to the public. And of course, great music. You have Solido, Signo, and several other musical bands joining us, and there'll be food, fun. There'll be a softball, baseball, t-ball tournament también. So
Kitty rides, food vending.
everything.
Tú también,
Vendors,
Rock. Hey, thanks
cook-off.
for coming out. You're going to be the master of ceremonies. Man.
Yeah, man,
Thanks for
it's going to
coming
be
out, man.
awesome. And you know, it's interesting, but Rio Grande's always fascinated me because, I mean, I love the downtown area, like the old
school.
area.
Yeah.
Dude,
Historical, the historical.
It's historical, bro. It's like, and I, it always takes me back. Like, I wonder how it was when it was
Back in the day,
Because back in the day, there's a hotel there that's like, you know, they'd say it's like haunted or something.
Oh,
Well, that's where you're going to stay on Saturday
Dude,
night.
Oh my!
Le van a rasguñar las patitas.
No, the cucuy.
I've been wanting to stay.
Yeah, for
'Cause
years.
I walked in there once, and you walk in, and there's like a not a lobby, but it's like a guest. I don't know. It's like a greeting room or something.
Yeah.
And it's like walking into the 1800s or something like that. It's got some. It really has some interesting, an interesting vibe. Then I went up into some of the rooms and looked into them, and they're old school, dude. How old is that? And what's the story behind? What's the name? It's the Hotel Laborde Hotel,
House,
right?
Laborde.
What's the story behind that, Mayor?
There's been a lot of history, and in fact, there is a tunnel that connects under 83, and of course, there's a story behind that. But as far as there is a history, there's hauntings, and of course, people they're staying there, and some of them don't make it through the night, because. Of course, there's certain things that, and I don't know if you're gonna make it through the night, but if you do, wonderful. But it's awesome. It is awesome. And you know, going back to that is trying to marry the history in Rio Grande City, but also the modern amenities as well. And how do you bring both together? And that's one of the things that is commissioned. We try to make sure that we meet that challenge where we want to keep in our history of so much that has happened in Rio Grande City.
It could happen, man. It's like the Fort Worth stockyards. It's like old school. You can keep that and still. But tell me a little bit about that tunnel under the Laborde, under that hotel. And the hauntings and the stuff that you know. I mean, what's that?
Paranormal.
Do you know anything about that?
Yes, in fact, there is the history where you had a restaurant across the street, and Casa Rafael's and several others beyond that back in 1800, and there was and La Borda House was actually a brothel at some point too, and so what would happen is individuals would go through the restaurant. And again, this is just history, so for those don't get offended by it. I hope I'm not offending anyone. That's,
and a brothel is, you'd go. It's a sex thing, right? I mean,
así como el commercial del Dr. T.
Yeah, Dr. T's, But there was there was actually a recipient in that commercial.
A recipient.
But they would go through the restaurant, and then back in the day, of course, it was frowned upon to be engaged in those type of activities, so they would go underneath the tunnel to the brothel and then back to the restaurant. So in a sense, the community would not, would say, no, pues they're at the restaurant, but in reality, they were conducting other kind of business.
And what's the story of it being haunted? Something happened with a wedding party or something, isn't it?
People have died there, actually. Many people have died, committed suicide or other murders that have happened. In fact, there's a red room there and several others that have that history, and people have all kinds of individuals that have stayed there and not known the history. In fact, just to quickly recount the story, we had some historians that came from St. Mary's University a couple of years ago this summer, and in fact, they all stayed there at the Laborde House or hotel, and in fact, they had several rooms, and before the end of the night, they all congregated in one room. All of them just went to one room because
Tenían miedo.
tenían miedo, and the fact is that they really didn't know the history behind it. So by the next day, andaban in Holiday Inn instead. They didn't want to stay there the night, but they all ended up in one room and with the lights on, of course, because they couldn't make it through the night. But you have stories about children.
Have you ever
laughing.
stayed in there?
No, I have not. I one of those, because they say that sometimes those spirits might follow you to your own house. So you know, como dicen, I don't believe in it, but just in case it's true, might as well not venture into that.
Oye, ¿y tú, Ben, nunca te has quedado en ese hotel?
No.
¿Tienes miedo?
I've only walked in the lobby like you said, and this is as far as I go.
Yeah.
This is creepy enough for me.
¿Para qué le mueves? ¿Para qué le mueves?
¿Y tú, Rolo? ¿Tú no te has quedado ahí?
No, sir.
¿Qué es lo que cobran para quedarte ahí? Los quedamos ahí, ve, para que sepan.
I'm not staying.
Al brothel.
Sí, le voy a seguir
no,
un ghost de la brothel para la casa.
Y yo no necesito el brazo, nomás hago un Dr. T video ahí.
I'm tripping out with the people in the chat zone, man. They're loving this show right now.
There's also one, I don't know if it's there, but now we're talking about also, you know, this is what we do sometimes. We just go into talking about
the same thing is with the fort.
supernatural stuff.
Fort Ringo,
Fort
for
Ringo.
example, there's some buildings there that are utilized by the school district employees, for example, and some of them do not stay there at all by themselves. If they're spending let's say they're after 5 or after 6 and it's dark, many people just decide not to.
Now, Fort Ringo, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you might not even know that's watching from Canada or California or other parts of Texas. Fort Ringo was a fort back in the, I guess, 1800s, and that Laborde House was like a stop for the stagecoach and stuff like that. So back then, it was a very active, small community that had a very significant place in South Texas. Steamboats. That's something that would freak me out. I never would realize that there were steamboats going through the Rio Grande, and they would stop there, and people would get off, and it would be a town, a destination, right?
There's so much history and beautiful buildings, and of course, and that's why it's important for us to make sure that we maintain those buildings and the history behind them and keep it alive.
Tell me a little bit about the Fort Ringgold. The Fort Ringgold. What fort was it? What kind of military branch was there, or what?
It's Army, 1848, and I'm sure that for those history buffs, if I have any recollections that are not accurate, please let us know. But I mean, and there's been, we had Buffalo Soldiers there too, and the Buffalo Soldiers.
I think this was during the Mexican-American War or something like that, right? That's why there was a fort there, right?
Well, you have a fort in Fort Brown, for example. In every 100 miles, there was a different fort, and it's of course Fort Ringgold, and then there's one in Laredo and several others.
Fort Brown being in Brownsville,
right.
Fort Brown,
But Fort Ringgold, of course, you had military, and in fact, to this day, you even have the different branches of the school district that have. In fact, we're having the 175-year anniversary of the fort coming up very soon. In fact,
and what happens in the fort now? What does it do?
It belongs to the school district.
Okay.
And the school district has right now, they're taking an initiative to rebuild it and rebuild some of the buildings, of course. And it's really neat to have that type of history tied
that
to
stuff
to
fascinates
city, right?
me, man. I mean,
and it's one of those things where we're working, by the way, very closely with the school district in the future, be able to partner up with them and have some of those buildings, let's say, turned over to the city, and then we can proceed with whether it's a library and different types of structures that we can work with the school district to make sure that we continue utilizing the fort. And in fact, there's some Chachalaca trails down at the towards the southern end of the fort, and which of course the Rio Grande River is right there. It's not even half a mile from.
I know, dude.
So everything is right there, and there's just so much history. But going back to the fear factor there is that tied into it. So by all means, anybody that wants to stay, especially
driving through Fort Ringgold, man, I'd never really been in that place when I went to go do the commercial with you guys. What's that?
We shot a video at the Fort Ringo.
Oh yeah. On one of the videos you could see
some kind of a shadow.
There's something appears right behind one.
Oh, what?
What video is that?
Every time we look for
I want to check that out. ¿Cuál video es ese?
Atrévete.
Atrévete. Órale, I'm gonna have to check that out, man. Well, driving through there, like I said, it just like it takes me like I feel the historical nature of it. You know, the barracks, the army buildings, and all that stuff, man. It's just an amazing thing. You guys got to go to Rio Grande City, ladies and gentlemen, and check it out. And like he said, like the mayor said, before you used to drive in there and it didn't get busy till you got to that Y, right? Or that fork in the road. And then you'd get into those little, one area comes this way and the other area goes that way. And that's the downtown. But now, miles before that, I mean, there's restaurants, there's hotels, there's theaters. It's just growing at a big pace. When I took my dad, he hadn't been out there in a long time. He goes, wow, this is Rio Grande. I go, yeah, it's Rio Grande. It's growing. It's fantastic.
In fact, we have our Starbucks, for example, there in Rio Grande City. And when we started the process of trying to attract Starbucks over there, of course, there was some dissension in reference to that. And said, no, hombre, nadie va a tomar café en Rio Grande City. Está muy caliente para allá. ¿Quién va a estar tomando café? But the reality is that there are long lines.
Yeah.
People stopping to...
Pinche liñota para el café, carnal.
Exactly. And that's the point of what's happening there in Rio Grande City with the growth and prosperity and everything that's coming and can continue to come. So hopefully people from the rest of the valley join us. Join us out there for Freedomfest, July 2nd. And it's going to be a wonderful event. And, of course, you're going to be there as well.
Be MC, man. I'm going to love it. Yeah, and we're going to have some shirts out there. And, of course, we'll throw some out from the stage in between bands and Solido, Ben. So Ben and Rolo, man, are here with us. This was the first song I ever heard from you guys, right? Yeah. And you guys had joined Freddie Records, but I had known you guys before you ever got signed.
But we had history. Remember that Battle of the Bands that you were you judging on that one?
I don't know. I think I just went to check it out. I don't know if I was a judge or not, but you had told me. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I was in radio since 1988, and in the early 90s, a little kid would call me on the request line like every day, right? And it was Rolo. It was Rolo,
I think it was when you were in KWW, no?
Yeah, the KWW. And Rolo, I mean, you must have been like 12, 13, 11. Yeah. And he'd call me on the request line, and we became friends. And
what song would you ask for?
It was back when like Emilio was hot and all.
Yeah, he just wanted to talk about the music, and he just wanted to talk.
My parents would take me to the Villarreal whenever you would be emceeing for the concerts. I even got to see your shows. Remember you had that group Blind Justice?
Yeah, Blind Justice back in 92, 93, man.
Toys,
I was a crazy mother, man.
Andaba yo 10 years old con rock.
Yeah, and Rolo would tell me, hey, I got a band. I'm in a band, and I'm a band. And I'm like, oh, that's good. So then one day he calls and he says, my band's going to play in Mercedes, your hometown. I go, really? Well, make sure I give him my address. They show up, him and his brother Ernie and his mom. And then we go to the Casey Hall in Mercedes, and they perform. And Ben, were you there when that
I was there, but I wasn't singing.
You weren't singing?
I wasn't singing. I wasn't doing anything. I was just...
it was just basically
I drove them there.
Yeah.
I drove them there. Yeah.
And why did you drive? How old were you?
He still wasn't in the band.
I wasn't in the band. Yo me los llevo esos con 10 años.
Sí.
So they were all still in high school, and I was the one who drive them around. Yeah. All the equipment in the truck and stuff.
So when you were 10, he was 20. Ben was 20. Are you kidding me? How old are you now, Ben?
Ya voy para el quinto piso.
Hey, bro, are you 50 or how? You're 50 years old, dude. You look great for your age, bro.
Yes.
Hey, you got your hair, bro. Look at me, bro. And that's because you got a tour bus, too. Esos pinches voces, carnal. No, hombre, te sacan canas y pierdes pelo, carnal. Cállate la boca, shut up. Le tengo una pregunta del boss. Do you all allow for people to poop inside the bus or no? No.
No pooping. I mean, if there's an emergency, they could bag it. But no. If you were like in the middle of nowhere and you got diarrhea, you gotta bag it anymore.
And how do you bag it or what? You pones,
Pues just
le
puro-
pones el Walmart bag como si es un trash can.
Ándele,
Y te sientas y deja caer,
Y
carnal.
luego tienes que double bag it para salirte y tirar.
Ándale.
Hey, that's genius.
You know, we're talking about ghosts and you know, and
now we're
hauntings and
talking
all that.
about
Have you ever had a phantom pooper in the bus? You know, a phantom. You know, like ¿quién chingados cagó? Yo no sé nada.
Ah, sí, no, eso sí.
Dejaron un premio
Fue un
nomás.
pinche ghost, carnal. El phantom pooper.
That's terrible.
Has that ever happened to you guys?
El Phantom Pooper.
Hey,
Hay varios.
Hay varios,
Sí.
sí. No, hombre. So when I saw you guys, when I saw you guys there in Mercedes, Ben wasn't with the band. He took you guys there, and you guys had another singer. Or what was his name?
Yeah, Ernie López, un saludo para él ahí de Río Grande. He would play accordion and he was cantaba primera voz.
Órale.
The thing is, going back a year or two, Ben's brothers, Chiquis and Marty, they had the group already. Y eran otros camaradas que tocaban, ¿verdad?
Sí.
And I would hang out. We all went to school together. Pero pues as you know, pues yo heavy metal.
Sí.
I was
So Rolo was a drummer.
Yeah, I was a drummer. Pues I would Pantera, Metallica, Slipknot, all that. Pues que hacía yo ahí, ¿verdad? Pero pues como quiera I went and we'd hang out and stuff. And they were like, hey, pues para que te en el grupo. Le digo, pues, ¿qué hago? Chiquis was already playing drums. Like, pues, canta o algo, güey. So, I'm like, bueno, okay. So I started learning how to harmonize little by little. And I started playing congas. And back in the days, I didn't know how to play congas. I knew the beat. So we'd put triggers on the bottom of the congas to get the sound out of them.
Órale.
So that's how we started in the band. Y despacito we started. That's when we entered the Battle of the Bands. Y Ben siempre cantaba una canción o dos just with us. Like when we would do the quinceañeras. Hey, pues canta con madre, Ben como quiera. Y como que ya no le estaba gustando
al acordeonista.
Al acordeonista.
Hey.
So it kind of gave us an ultimatum, como, hey, pues él o yo or whatever. And he was in college también. He was doing his own thing.
Sí.
So we split ways. Y ya se quedó Ben. Ben
Sí.
se quedó, and Ben got the bass. Ben started playing bass and singing. And that's when going back, when we won the Battle of the Bands, it was like for a recording session in
Dallas.
Weatherford. Me acuerdo de Weatherford.
And did you guys go and do it or no?
Sí, quién sabe dónde está ese cassette.
Because sometimes those, those Battle of the Bands, they're a little fishy, bro. No, we
Era un
can't do
gabacho, ¿cómo se llamaba? El Graham, no me acuerdo.
I don't remember his name.
Grabamos un mugrero, pero fuimos para allá a grabar.
it. y los manejó Ben para allá. ¿O?
Yeah,
sí, era el chofer.
Yeah,
Wow, man. Y Ben, ¿tú estabas en grupos antes así?
No, but I never knew.
Ben was working at the time.
Yeah,
already.
I worked for Easy Pond.
Oh, sí.
10 years before Easy Pond as a manager.
Y ahí es donde dejaban los muchachos todos los instrumentos en los weekends.
That's where we got them.
Ahí los conseguían.
Pura tranza.
That's actually where we got all our instruments from.
Sí, con
No,
Ben.
pawn shop
Tenían
con
la
Ben.
conecta. Wow, man. And so you were working and you never played with bands in high school or anything like that?
No. I mean, I shared the love for music with my brothers, right? But I never knew I could sing. But I was always singing. I love music. And since I was always singing, that's how I was practicing my craft. I didn't know I could sing.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, when these guys picked up the instruments, and I felt that I wanted to be part of it, pero o sea, como que no encajábamos. But then, and it's just
That's pretty incredible because like I can't imagine Solido without those voices.
Yeah.
Because Rolo, your voice is it's like Los Palominos, you know. I mean, those guys have a unique voice, a unique sound, vocally, and the same thing with you guys. Like this, right there, that's you, right? I mean, that's Ben, and then when I heard those backups, I said these voices complement each other very well.
And it was scary when we recorded that song because the album was done already and that song wasn't included on there. And our producer at the time, Roberto Martinez, which he wrote that song, and we got there in the morning. He was like, "Oye, tengo esta canción, escúchenla." And he told us like, "Ben, tú haces hasta la cima del cielo y luego Rolo, tú haces esta parte." I'm like, pues yo no canto, güey. Y I was like, no, pues está bueno. So to me, it was kind of cringy when I would hear my voice. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's always like that, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it feels
we're
kinda
like
cringy.
we're like our own worst critics,
Yeah,
bro.
man,
We hate
sure.
each other. I hate hearing my shit. Right?
Yeah.
So but that's the way it was.
Pero
But it
pues
sounded
jaló.
great, bro.
Yeah.
And so you went to Dallas. You recorded that. Is there a copy of that somewhere?
Someone has it, man. One of our old friends had told me they had a copy of it like, on cassette, actually.
Dude.
I think I have a copy of
See?
that somewhere. Yeah, it's a cassette.
Yeah.
And is it some similar to what you guys do today, or was it just like traditional Tejano, or
You know what?
was it?
There might
There's
be
like
some
two songs from the original
from
album.
the
man.
first
From
album.
the first
yeah.
album. And then
Oh yeah, but you re-recorded
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
You did them in a better.
redid them, yeah.
'Cause how was your experience in Dallas when you guys went for the very first time to go record?
It was awesome because we had us as kids, we had never been inside a studio, so we were freaking out, man. It was
Yeah.
cold. I remember it was cold out there.
Yeah,
It was fun, man.
yeah.
Really fun.
And then you guys came back, and what happened after you guys came back from Dallas?
Well, we did another
demo with
another demo
Boy
in
Lozano.
Roma,
Okay,
and I reached out to Fermín Limón.
okay.
Que en paz
En
descanse.
paz descanse,
Yeah.
Fermín.
Yeah, and he heard our demo and he was like, okay, well, I mean, and he was busy with Control and
Intenso.
Yeah, he was
so-
handling a
yeah,
lot
he
of
did a lot
great
of
bands,
bands,
yeah.
man. Yeah,
but he sent me to take pictures with
Jorge.
Jorge Flores from San Antonio.
Mm-hmm.
He did a lot of CD covers and pictures for he's the one that did the 1392 from David Lee.
oh
the
yeah,
famous cover.
oh yeah,
Yeah, he did all that. So we went with him for a photo shoot, and he heard our demo and he showed it to Luis Silva. Remember Luis Silva?
Songwriter.
Songwriter,
He wrote
yeah.
a lot of
And
Maz
he was there at
songs.
Freddie Records at the time.
He was working for Freddie Records,
Uh-huh.
and in less than a month we were sitting at Freddie Records.
Just went from
Holy
hand to
moly.
hand to hand. The album
Yeah.
kept on passing on to different people, man.
So that's how it happened, man. That's incredible. I never knew that. And I've known you guys for the longest time.
That's how we got a meeting with Freddie Jr.
Yeah. Fermín Limón, ladies and gentlemen, was a band manager, and he had a lot of great artists under his wing, and he had them working, bro. I mean, they were all very good bands. Those guys were good. They could tell good talent when they
Yeah.
saw it, you know. And unfortunately, he ended up, I think he laid back from that business, and he ended up opening a club in North Mission. And one night, there was a little altercation there, and some guy, I think he was like an off-duty border patrol
Yeah,
guy,
he
I
got
think.
shot.
He went to the car, grabbed his gun, and came back, and he shot Fermín and killed him, man. It was tragic, dude.
Yes.
And it was shocking to all of us because he was well known in our industry, you know. And so you went to Freddie Records, and then you sat down and talked with Freddie Jr. and he kind of handled everything for you guys, or what?
See, but we went in there. He listened to everything, and we came to an agreement that we'd sign a contract, but we had to do the whole album again. The demo.
Yeah,
we thought they were gonna release the demo. We had. Like that ain't how it works. You gotta come in and record the whole album.
That
again.
was, and there's something we skipped a little part that's very important, and I think it's algo muy bonito porque growing up, you know, my parents are saying that siempre te dicen que no hay mal que por bien no venga. Christmas Eve of '99, my house burned down.
Wow.
O sea, like I said, I'm older than my brothers, and I was working, I was doing my thing. I had my little house, and I was doing all right. So my house burned down, and I moved back to my parents. And you know, being at my parents, that's when we took the band seriously. You know, Rolo was always there. We were singing, we were writing songs, and that's basically those 8 months.
Like some sort of divine intervention,
Exactly.
bro.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because less than a year, ya estábamos grabando Hasta la Cima del Cielo.
Wow.
After that.
That's unbelievable, the way certain things happen and create
For a reason.
destiny, dude. And then 99, you know, you released this album and you released Hasta la Cima del Cielo, and you had that norteño flavor
Well, that-
because Tejano was kind of waning out, you know, Intocable had
That's
come
when
out in
we had
98.
The problem also with the radio stations. Now that you say that, the Tejano Norteño. So we were happy. We were like, all right, so we got the song's pretty good. Let's go promote it. So they took us on a promo tour, and we'd show up to the Tejano stations, and they wouldn't want to play it. They were like, "Pues this is Norteño. We don't play Norteño." Show up to Norteño stations. They're like, "This is Tejano. O sea, nosotros no tocamos Tejano."
Yeah.
They're like, "Pues no one's gonna play us," because we've always walked that fine line between Tejano and Norteño, which eventually they started calling us Norteño Light. That's what they would call us back in the day. And I think the song when it just took like a life of its own, man.
Yeah.
People, because back then there was no social media. O sea,
That was not even YouTube. No,
No,
YouTube.
yeah, nah.
You had to call the radio station
Sí.
and ask for the song.
Yeah.
And I think all the radio stations were just kind of backed up into a corner where they had to play it because the people were asking for it.
And it was good.
Yeah, so they
the
got
song
played
was
on all of
good.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be,
And también Despacito, we didn't have a company in Mexico, and the song started being number one in Mexico, and we didn't have a company. Y that would go just by people that would buy the CD and go over there because there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't anything back then.
there was no streaming, none of that.
So
man.
that song was big. It
Yeah.
was really big, and it helped. us
The
out a lot.
entire your first album, your first CD with Freddie Records was a very big success, wasn't it? I mean, and what happened after that album? I mean,
didn't
what
know
did
what we
Freddie?
were gonna do.
what did Freddie say? Like, man, you guys over exceeded our expectations. Or
Oh yeah, because we finished that album late '99, and then we waited almost a year for them to put it out because they, también, I think Jimmy's album, like
Jimmy
His
Gonzalez.
first album, yeah.
and they had two other bands that they were developing then too.
Pues que at that time también estaba Ramon. Remember he was
Oh,
doing
and-
Quémame los ojos, like all those.
So they kept
big-
pushing it back, but once we did, and then after we had the whole success and going to the Grammys and everything, we finally made it back to the studio about a year and a half later, and we had no idea what we were gonna do. We thought we were gonna be one hit wonder. We was like,
Yeah.
¿Qué vamos a hacer?
Yeah.
How do we surpass that?
And what did you guys do? Who guided you to be able to? Because man, you guys have had consistency and a longevity, bro. And not many bands. There's a lot of bands from
I
your
think
era
what helps us
that
out a lot-
broke up and aren't
Yeah,
around or
yeah.
lost singers, and
the song choices. I think that helps us out a lot. On the second album, Oscar Iván Treviño from Duelo,
Sí.
good friend of ours, pues ahí está en Roma.
Sí.
He would hang out a lot with us, and we had recorded like about 2 or 3 songs in the first album, and he had some new songs for us for the second album. So we started hanging out and started montando las canciones, and that's where it was. A lot of people don't know he wrote Dile la Verdad. So we did Dile la Verdad, En Donde Estés. There's like 4 or 5 songs of Oscar's on that one.
But when he gave us Dile la Verdad, I knew that this was gonna carry on, and we were not gonna be a one hit wonder. Yeah, like that one.
This is an amazing song. I love the
We're so
backups,
blessed.
the
Yeah,
chorus.
yeah.
The I don't know what they call it. Is it chorus or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
da 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 da?
La segunda
the
voz.
back,
Yeah.
the backup
Yeah.
vocals, yeah.
Yeah. How amazing is Oscar Iván, bro?
Oh, he's a great
genius,
songwriter,
musical
man.
genius.
He's tiene un don ese guy,
Sí,
¿verdad?
no, muy bien.
He
He
is-
was young, but if we were young, he's younger than us. He was really young back
Yeah.
then.
He just had that gift. He has that gift.
Mi vida se ha llenado de tanta
And Ben singing, right?
I love it. I love it.
infeliz.
Esta rola está bruta,
I know.
bro. I love it, dude.
No sé
So that was a follow-up to Cima del Cielo.
Yeah, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
no quiero dañarla.
Right here, this part.
No quiero quebrar su corazón. Ella me ha jurado que le hago mucha falta.
Sound like a little boy.
You were, bro.
Para una
This part.
La verdad que ya no sientes nada.
Eso es imposible, no puedo hacerlo.
Ya no merece que se
No, esta la tocamos en el radio todo el día,
¿te
carnal.
acuerdas?
Wow, man. Wow, amazing. And so then you guys got this album out, what, about 2001 or something like that?
Yeah,
2000?
I think because that's when
Yeah,
we
that's
got
2001.
nominated for the Nadie Como Tu album, which is that one, right?
Yeah, we went to the Grammys.
Yeah, that's
Second nomination. That's when we
That's
won the
to say
first
that
Grammy. Yeah.
we won the Grammy for that album, right?
Yeah.
And,
the American Grammy. That was cool.
The American Grammy. So
American Grammy,
you guys went up to LA and did all the.
Yeah, we got nominated for Cima del Cielo. We didn't win that one, and then that second album, we got nominated. And that's the one we won. They were in LA.
¿Cómo tuvo la trip? How was your first trip to? Had you guys ever been to LA?
No,
it was crazy.
unos
Yeah,
chavalos
They,
de-
they could tell that éramos de rancho.
I know, bro.
Well, actually, it was crazy. We drove. That was the year we
Yeah,
drove,
we
right?
drove,
We
yeah.
drove and we stopped in Las Vegas and we stayed a day there because we were supposed
Yeah,
to
just
go
for a while.
pick up our medals and stuff. We stayed in Vegas
Yeah.
and we did the Vegas thing. Then we drove to LA the following day.
Fíjate, man, that's already what 22 years. I mean, what 22 years ago, or is it no?
I always remember because
20 years ago, yeah.
was
It's
when we
22
won.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That year that we won was when it was a badass performance. Elton John and Eminem. when they did that performance together. That was awesome.
And so when you went to the Grammys, were you able to sit and watch the show? Or and then you were given the Grammy during the afternoon? Because sometimes some of that stuff ain't televised, right?
No, in the afternoon they give most of the Grammys. And then, after that, I went in the
It's
beginning.
a non-televised section.
You're sitting down in front and they give out the Grammys. Y ahora sí, vete pa tu asiento para arriba. Yeah, with big boys.
Who was guiding you all around there? Did you have somebody, guiding you? Okay, you guys got to go here.
A publicist.
A publicist?
Yeah,
Freddie had a publicist and he knew exactly what to do and all that.
Yeah,
and everybody in the band went, or it was just you two guys? Or
No, the whole band.
Everybody went, man. You flew over there. You guys got a van. You stayed. Where did you stay over there?
No, we was como te dice, Ben, we drove because we stopped in Vegas.
Okay.
And we got there. We got a hotel. They had
I don't
a
remember
room
where
for
we
us close because it was
stayed,
at the Staples Center. It was like right down the street from
I don't
Staples
remember where we
Center.
stayed.
Yeah.
Pero it was awesome, man, because then afterwards you go to the after party.
I know, I was gonna ask you about that,
They
'cause
have bags for you.
There's parties everywhere. Which ones did you go to? I mean,
That's where we met Ron Jeremy, right?
pon el video otra vez, baby. Dr. T's. Pon el video.
Yeah.
So you met Ron. How in the world do you know who Ron Jeremy is?
Deja tú. We were there. So, quick story. We're outside one of the after parties. Pero pues you can't smoke right inside. And I wanted to smoke a cigarette. So I go outside y prendo el cigarro. Pues volteé, a la madre, I know this dude, man. Ahí está con el pelo largo. Después digo,
Y no había internet back then, ladies and gentlemen.
¿dónde lo
Okay.
vio? Dijo. Oye, y luego llega un moreno, right? Ahí encima, y oye, que la hace de guato. I grew up with you, man. Y empecé a gritar y gritar la Ron Jeremy. Sí. But he was cool, man. Asking for a picture. Got to take a picture with him.
Yeah.
What's
guy.
the other actor that told you off? What's his name?
Que
vive enojado.
Oh my God, the guy from
Gary
Busey.
Gary Busey, yeah.
Oh, sí, el que salió de Buddy Holly in that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah,
You ever seen that movie?
yeah,
It's
man.
good.
He
Also
got
came out
pissed.
on with Mel Gibson on Lethal Weapon. I think in the first one. Yeah.
Sí.
Yeah.
No, se enojó, le pedimos pictures, se enojó el vato.
Yeah. No, hombre, dale. He's a little wacko, man.
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
not
little
all there.
wacko guy. Yeah. I actually went to the Grammys once. I didn't go to the Grammys, but I went to the after parties, and I ran into the butler from Prince of Bel-Air, dude.
Fresh Prince.
Okay,
Yeah,
Fresh
from the
Prince.
Fresh Prince. Ahí está el vato, and I took a picture with him, and then I took a picture with Bokeem Woodbine. He's one of the actors. He's been coming out in a bunch of movies. Look him up, Bokeem Woodbine. I met him in a bathroom. But you walk in there and everybody looks like there's somebody that you know, right?
Oh, yeah,
and so I started taking pictures with people I didn't even know they were artists or not or
You know who I
stars.
met there también that was really cool? He actually asked like who we were and what award we had won. You remember Tim Curry?
Yeah.
He's the original It, the clown.
Yeah.
He was really cool with us. Yeah.
Yeah.
We met him there también.
I was standing on the McDonald's, the McDonald's there at the Staples Center, and in front of me was Vander Holyfield,
Evander, the boxer.
the boxer.
Yeah.
But he's short. He's like,
Did he have
I'm
an
like
ear?
twice his size.
Did he have an ear?
Oh my goodness.
That's funny that you say that.
Yeah.
That's funny that you say that because the people in the chat zone are saying that you look like a boxer.
Oh, really?
Dicen, Ben sí le echa unos chingazos al Canelo. I don't know, man. I don't know if it's the clothes or because you're big, bro, but that's what they're saying.
No,
man.
es porque es comisionado, carnal.
Watch out.
Comisionado, carnal. ¿Cómo la ves?
Ya me quiero retirar. Tráigame al Canelo o al cualquier cabrón.
Me quiero retirar ya que tengo las orejas enteras. So, hey, Jax, let's go to Jax Phoenix, man. See what's up in the chat zone. What's going on, Jax?
What's going on, people? No, pues, I mean, I am tripping with all the people. First off, I'm going to send some shout outs because we do have a lot of beautiful people in the chat zone right now. We got, real quick, guys, Ray Marino de Laredo, Texas, Fernando Ambriz from Houston, Luis Osuna from Leander, Texas, Jose Z1 from Little Elm, Texas, Lopez, PDP, Bryan, Texas, and Yolanda from San Antonio. We got PK from Prison City. We got Daniel Rios from Amarillo, Texas. Joe Alejandro from Hebbronville, Lubbock, Texas in the house.
Lubbock, Texas.
And we got some questions for the boys here. Oh, yeah, Rudy De Leon says that he always, when he was stationed in Germany, he used to listen to Solido. In Germany, bro.
Hey, Rudy, thank you for your service, man. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for being a fan.
Yeah, and you know, it's crazy because over in Germany, people are very big on accordion. So he said that his neighbors over there really enjoyed y'all's music, man.
Oh, la
Wow.
polka.
In Germany, bro.
German polka,
Awesome.
yeah.
It's badass.
In Germany, yeah. So we got some questions here. Pique Guadarrama says, Grupo Solido, how many panties and bras have y'all collected along the way?
As many as Ron Jeremy.
We got a follow-up question to that. Sal in the House says, what's the biggest bra size that you've ever been thrown?
Están todos en Dr. T's en el pinche testosterone, todo.
Están bien prendidos estos vatos.
Oye, cálmala. I saw a picture of Jesse Turner. Me lo mandó un fan de allá de Washington State.
Yo lo vi.
Y estaba un pinche chichero colgando del micrófono. Oye, a mero ni se miraba Jesse con el pinche chichero, carnal. Sústame one time.
Oye, speaking of chicheros, Dad, speaking of chicheros, D Kings, saludos D Kings. He says, how many times have you autographed tetas? That's how he said it.
Oh my goodness.
Is it awkward question night tonight or
I
what?
think so. It rolled over from
That's
yesterday.
Wednesday
they like
night,
it,
guys.
man.
That's
They're liking
Wednesday
it.
night.
Con el Me Too movement, no, sir.
No puedes hacer ese jale, carnal. Sacan ese jale y no, hombre, cállate la boca.
Okay, so we're done with those questions, but we do have, we asked the best ones though, but we do have, Mario Flores has a suggestion for Chorizo HyH commercial.
Okay.
I'm going to say it real quick. He said, si compras un chorizo HyH, te regalamos un sacón de frijoles. And that's it for my segment, people.
Jax Phoenix. All right. So, guys, how many albums have you all released already, man? Have you lost count or no? I mean, because it's
We're
been
like 13. or
13
something.
records.
Original albums, 8 for sure. All the compilations that Freddie Records still
Yeah.
keeps doing.
Todavía están sacando greatest hits y la chingada, ¿no? Pues ya no están con Freddie Records, ¿verdad?
No,
ya no.
¿Cuándo se acabó esa historia, Dad? ¿Ya
Bueno,
tienen tiempo?
Nos divorciamos hace como 5 años.
5
¿5
6
años?
years ago,
Pues
yeah.
entonces estuvieron ahí un buen tiempo, ¿no?
It was our whole music
From
career.
2001
Yeah.
to or
15,
90,
you could say, almost 2015.
2015, so
Más o
about
menos.
14 years, something like that.
Yeah.
We had a really rough patch there, I think, in 2004 with the Tal Vez album. A lot of people don't know. We wanted, like you say, creative freedom, right?
Uh-huh.
So when we recorded that Tal Vez album,
Okay.
we recorded it here in McAllen and Pro Sound.
Okay.
And it took a lot of
They wanted their studio to be.
they wanted their studio, they wanted their songs.
And why didn't you want to do the music at
Wanted
Freddie
something-
Records studio?
We're looking for a different sound.
we wanted a different sound, and we wanted our own songs, like our own like songs.
What
that we
was
wanted.
it that? What sound was it that you didn't like?
It's not that you don't like. Me personally,
love
I'm
the
not
sound.
talking. Yeah, I'm not talking for anybody else. The sound is awesome, but after a while, and I think it happens in a lot of studios. It's and it's not their fault since, like Chamacos was there, Ramon Ayala, Jimmy, everybody was there. After a while, everyone sounds the same. You know what I mean? O sea,
Yeah.
the sound, the
It
drum
becomes
sound-
like a cookie cutter type of thing.
Exactly. O sea, everything sounds badass. Don't get me wrong. It sounded awesome. Our drums sounded the same as them. The vocals sounded the same as them. So like, let's just try to do something different.
And in the naked ear for a fan, I don't think
Yeah.
they
No,
realize
they don't
that. But the
realize it.
musician that listens to it
Yeah.
inside the studio over those speakers and figures out, and it starts sounding pretty much. And so that's what happened with you guys and Freddie, and then you came and recorded at Pro Sound, which now belongs to. Is it Oscar
Duelo,
Ivans?
yeah, it's
Duelo owns
Oscar
that studio
yeah.
now.
I
But
mean,
back
we finally-
then,
yeah, we-
was it Sereno that owned it?
Yeah, it was Chewy.
Chewy, yeah,
Chewy.
Chewy. We just ran into him at Whataburger last
Yesterday.
night, babe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we finally convinced them that we wanted to, they let us record the album, and
Okay.
we took about 6 months to doing that album, and it's one of my favorite albums, the Vuelve album. Hits como Contando los Segundos,
Nomás Este Rey.
isn't that album? Tal vez.
Yeah, tal vez is good, man.
Nomás este rey, that one's a great song.
Drinking song.
So we finished that album, and we were getting ready to show it to Freddie Records, and I remember we were driving down from Houston after a show, and then Alice texts the radios. All of a sudden, they start playing Nomás Este Rey,
And the album wasn't out yet.
and the album wasn't out. Nobody
No one
had
had a
the
copy.
album.
How did that happen?
Somebody got a bootleg copy from somebody.
Well,
Lo piratearon, como decían.
well, who had it? The Chewy was the only one that had
Whatever,
it.
we don't know. Somehow it got leaked.
Yeah.
So, and pues Freddie, cállate.
No, hombre. Yeah, they're very strict. Back then,
Yeah.
they were very strict about
And I
the
understand that,
release
it's
of
business.
music.
Yeah. And I understand that it's business.
You need to
So-
hype it up and then
Sí,
start
sí,
building it and release it and
Yeah.
try to get the best you can get out of it, right?
So we had to go back to the studio and record a whole new album, and that one was just like we don't want it. It no sirve. It's in the trash. And to us, it's the best we've ever done. Like it's like we were fixing to go to a whole nother level. And
there was no negotiating, no type of they had no give and take, nothing.
no, for 2 years we had no contact. We we were lawyers
And did you record that album that they wanted?
we recorded.
Okay, and how did that? Which album was that?
El de Nuestro Amor.
Nuestro Amor.
Una rosa.
Yeah.
But eventually we convinced them. We settled and we convinced them to release the Tal Vez album, and that kind of really cemented our career, man, because it showed a different side of Solido. The cumbia romántica, Tal Vez was a huge. Still, I think it's
Mexico, everywhere.
it's still one of our biggest hits, and it also we featured our how versatile we could be. We did a truly norteño song with Nomás Este Rey.
Yeah, I like that one, man.
Yeah.
Let me play that song a little bit para que la gente comience a prender el bote y que
Was
se
that
prendan.
Nomás Este Rey got recorded just a couple of years
And
ago.
a lot of bands have covered that song.
Oh, okay, well, hold on.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
That's the
It's a
cover.
Yeah.
Y puse Sólido.
Hoy no más.
Oye.
Ese es el Yaki.
El
He
Yaki.
recorded it last year.
That was a big hit for him.
Recorded 2 years ago.
Yeah.
How does that work? Do they pay you guys for using the music or no?
They pay the songwriter.
Play a song.
Yeah, aquí está
Eso.
Oh, there we go. Damn.
Abre otra, Rock. Abre otra.
Put a Bud Zero.
Esta es la que le dedico a la producer Riley,
Ay,
carnal, la que
sí.
sepa, carnal.
Stop.
Este rey, baby. Sústame, aguanta.
Yes, okay.
Ahora le dice.
Esto me da una patada en la cola, chica, ahorita de cuando salgamos de
Nomás
aquí.
este güey.
Vas a quedar como el de Dr. T solo.
So, man, this album, so it you released it after all then.
Yeah.
And it was a big hit for you guys.
Yeah.
And the lawyers came and they got involved. What did you want the lawyers to do? Like cut the contract? Did you have some more albums that you had to do for Freddie? Or
I mean, it actually turned out for the better. Yeah, because our first contract wasn't really, it was just too one-sided for their side, and so we renegotiated the terms and
too one-sided. A lot of people wouldn't understand what too one-sided is. It's like they get more more of the sales and the
Percentages.
and you guys just get the gig money or what? Or
No, because back then lo que pasa es que back then sí se vendían los discos.
Sí,
o sea, back
CDs.
then there was actual money in there.
yeah,
so-
because you actually had a physical product that you could sell. Like
Yeah, no, we
Now
never
it's
we
just
never had a
stream.
contract with any about the shows or anything like that. It was strictly just the album sales.
Yeah, because nowadays I think they do like 360.
360s,
Where
yeah.
they want a piece of your gig
Of
money, they
everything,
want a
yeah.
piece of your
Your
T-shirts
merch,
and all
yeah.
that stuff because of the streaming and all that. That's not as lucrative as it was with selling hard
Actual
product,
physical,
physical
exactly.
product. But so then you went through the lawyers. Did you have to go through courts, or they finally said, "Hey, you know what? We'll just let you go, or we'll release, or let's just amicably,
No,
break
because I mean
up."
they went through lawyers and they came to an agreement.
we came in agreement. Yeah, we got a little bit of money.
See,
Yeah.
and
Of course, we gave them some more albums. But
yeah.
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 But were you happy with the final result of all that, or do you still feel
you
like
always want more, but
Yeah.
we did good.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't change our story. I think
And we're still cool with them.
we're still cool with it.
And all the streaming that from those albums, and like you said, the compilation and all that goes to Freddie Records. None of that goes to you guys, or are you
Was-
capable of getting anything out of that?
The thing is, Se supone que they have the masters.
Yeah.
Too,
Yeah.
pero pues.
Yeah. And so
A little bit.
so this was 2015. You decided to break up with Freddie. You decided to do your own thing,
Pero
go
cumplimos, o
independent.
sea, we gave him
finished
the
our-
last stop. We
yeah,
finished
we
our
finished our
contract.
Okay. And then
And we told him, you know what, we're gonna try our own thing.
and how did it feel when you broke ties with Freddie? Was there a sense of freedom? Now you can do what you want to do. Did you have any fear? Like, man,
Both,
how
yeah,
are we
that's what I
gonna
was
do
gonna say.
it?
A little bit of
You know,
everything.
because Freddie Records is a powerhouse as far as labels and
I mean,
connections
like
and
you said, you
Grammys
get
and
the
all
freedom,
that.
The freedom as in like, bueno, ahora sí, no one's gonna tell me where I can record. Well, we have our own studio at the time. Yeah, we had our studio, so we could record whatever we want. But then when you have the product done, we're like, okay, now
The
what
distribution.
what do I do with this now? We're ready now.
What did you guys do?
Yeah, no, at that time, which album was it though?
Inolvidable. I don't remember.
Was it? No, I think it was
Incomparable. The first album we released on our own
Oh,
was
Incomparable. You're right.
Incomparable. So by the time you released, you recorded your own album under your own terms, and there was streaming available, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
able to upload. Ya los CDs no estaban vendiendo mucho, right? 2015, 2016,
No,
right?
ya no había nada. No.
Yeah, so now you just upload the music and all the streaming comes to the band, right?
Yeah, but we signed with a distributor, with
Okay.
Orchard.
Okay.
Yeah,
Orchard.
and they've been nothing but great
Dude.
with us. Yeah.
Orchard.
Those guys took down one of our videos, bro.
Yes.
Orchard Music.
I was gonna say they're good.
Una rola de signo, carnal, que puse cuando estaba Jesse Turner
Yes.
aquí, bro.
They take our stuff down from our social media.
See,
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, we own this. It's
Yeah.
our music.
Yeah.
And they still take it down.
yeah.
They're real strict.
Pues ojalá no solo nos hagan take down a la noche, chingao, vato. Voy a tener que ser como Jesse Turner, puros episodes at the end of
Yes,
the
I
month.
know. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. So,
It's
man.
okay.
So then 2015, you guys have been doing it all on your own then.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
hemos estado solos and como dice Ben, pues Orchard takes care of our distribution.
Mm-hmm.
And pues of course we work with different people for marketing and stuff like that.
Yeah. Wow, man. Is it a lot of work having to deal with that, or is it
No, it is. It's a
Well,
lot.
yeah, 'cause
It's a
it's
lot.
changed, man.
It's a lot. It's kind of like right out of high school to where like, hey, I'm free, but then you're like, hey, but
Now
no,
you
see
gotta
why?
do your
Yeah,
own
now you
thing,
got
yeah.
now you're responsible for your own bills and things like that. So yeah.
who has the biggest burden of the whole band between you the members? Like, who has to really deal with most of the stuff that's a big headache or
Me and
whatever?
Rolo, we're the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of us. I think.
So you guys are the Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons of Solido.
Cuenta, sí.
Órale, esto, Woo! Well, shoot, man, Rolo's been there since day one, dude,
Yeah,
right?
man, sí,
And
yes.
who are are there original members that have been with you since then, or have
Well,
you changed the members?
Chiquis, which is Amado, which is Ben's
My
brother,
Uh-huh.
drummer.
El drummer,
El
yeah.
drummer.
I follow him on social
Sí,
media.
yeah.
Cada rato pone pictures de las
De los
tamales.
venados y la
Yeah,
chingada.
yeah, dude, Chiquis.
Un saludo para Chiquis.
Hey.
Y Fernando, our bass player, which he's originally from Monterrey, but he's been there pues, como que dices from the beginning.
Yeah, I just since I gave up the bass,
He
handed
got
to
the
him.
bass.
He's been
Yeah.
playing bass since.
Mm-hmm.
That was
Since
since the Deliver La Verdad album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the only two that have changed have been Ray Johnson, our bajo sexto player, but he's been feels like forever. He took place of Ben's other brother, Merardo Marty,
Mm-hmm.
and our accordion player Mito.
Yeah.
Mito he's from Zapata. Mito came in right before pandemic, actually. Yeah, right before pandemic.
Wow, man.
He took place of Eligio.
We've
Yeah.
always had bad luck with accordion players, man.
¿Por qué, bro?
I don't know. And that's kind of like why when you hear Solido, you hear a lot of the intros of the bajo. Because whenever we would be practicing new songs, we didn't have an accordion player, so we just do it with the guitar or the bajo. So that's why you hear a lot of our songs like that. Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, bro, I'm real proud of you guys, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I mean, seeing you guys evolve from when you were kids. And, well, you were a kid and this guy was an adult already, man.
He was driving us to the gigs.
Yeah. Mayor, how awesome is it to have guys like this being part of the community of Rio Grande City, bro?
It is, and in fact, just listening to their story, to their life. I mean, it's wonderful to have that level of resiliency, that level of working hard and making it happen and being part of it as a family.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wonderful. Which here in South Texas, we are family oriented, and we have that gung-ho mentality about we're gonna, be part of the American dream, and now being part of, again, winning a Grammy. And we have such wonderful and musically talented individuals in Stark County, by the way.
You do.
Solido, when you're looking at, for example, the bands there in Stark County going on to state, and you have mariachis, for example, music talented state champs and national champs, and it's wonderful. Then, of course, with Solido being part of that Rio Grande City spirit, the hey, we're gonna work hard, we're gonna make it happen, part of the American dream of, and having what you have, not just because it was given to you, but you earned it.
Yeah.
You earned it, and you worked hard, and now to see that and be part of it,
Thank you.
it's
man.
wonderful.
Yeah,
As a
Was
mayor,
that-
of course, I'm proud
That
of it.
that first time we won the Grammy, los tiraron parade, hicieron Solido Day, todo in Stark County, man. It was awesome.
Well deserved,
Yeah,
man.
man.
In fact, I handed him the keys to the city.
Yeah, that's true.
Back in that was back as part of that Grammy award winning, which was wonderful.
That's
Hey,
cool, man.
and now we're here, and again, he's a commissioner serving the Rio Grande
Isn't that
City as part of
incredible,
the-
dude?
Oh,
Wow. That's
full
incredible.
circle, as they
Cool,
say.
The evolution of these young men right here. They're not young men anymore, but they're pillars of the community, bro. And they brought a lot of attention to Rio Grande City, and now they're serving the city, bro. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. And I'm really glad that you guys made it in, and I'm really honored that you guys asked me to be the MC for the show next week, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be July 2nd. No matter where you are at, it's worth the drive to go check
Free.
this show. It's absolutely free. Solido presents Freedomfest, Rio Grande City with Signal. Chris Perez is going to be there. We just saw Chris Perez Friday night with Grupo Metal.
Yes,
and that
we did.
dude is amazing on guitar. Also, Latin Vibe's going to be there. There's another band there as well, ¿verdad?
Inevitable.
Inevitable.
Yeah, good
So,
friend, bro. Saludos para ellos.
it's going to be awesome. There's
But
going
you
to
know
be...
what? We haven't even mentioned. We have a huge firework display. I know a lot of people. It's 4th of July.
yay.
It's beautiful. It's a huge firework display. So that in itself, it's going to be awesome.
And it's not on there because it was a separate poster, but we have a car show going on also. We have the cook-off. We have a cook-off. ¿Y qué más?
Prize money, by the way, with a
Kitty
cook-off.
show. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think
prize,
like
yeah, prize money and some
$5,000 in
buckles.
prizes
And
and
then we have a
giving-
T-ball tournament and a co-ed softball tournament. So, hombre, hay bastante cosas.
Man, you've made it into like a big community, active community event, man. That's right.
And the key word is free.
yeah.
Free.
Yeah,
And then we want to keep it that way, right?
the greatest four-letter word ever, right?
That's the kind of mayor you want to vote for right there.
And commissioner, right?
That's a winning team right there.
Hey man, muchas gracias por pasar por las puertas de hashtag PVT.
big thanks
Pues
for
I've been
inviting
wanting
us,
you
Rob.
guys on the show for a while,
we'll
but
come
you
back
guys are
whenever you want us
busy.
to come again.
Yeah, man. And ladies and gentlemen, July 2nd, once again, on behalf of myself, Jax, Ben, Rolo, Mayor Villarreal, and my beautiful wife and producer, Rally, we want to thank you all. And we appreciate the support you give us. And make sure to support our sponsors. And once again, if you want to sponsor this show, we have available spots on Tuesday night and Thursday night. And we're bringing in a lot of great entertainers and people of interest as well. Last night we had Joe's Master Service. Boy, did we have fun with him?
Yeah, we
last
did.
night?
The awkward questions
We
and
were
all that.
we're pulling out what's with the Teddy dude.
It's because in the chat zone they were
my.
talking about my shoes and they were like, "Are you gonna show your shoes?" And I was like, "I'll show it at the end of the show."
There it is.
I was like, what's happening?
They're brand new though. They're brand new, so like they don't smell or anything. Don't worry. There they are.
Huelen al Foot Locker, carnal. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate it. And in Rankin, Texas, be ready because we're going there Saturday, and we're going to be having a lot of fun in Rankin, Texas. We have friends from the chat zone that are going to be there from El Paso.
Yes.
And so we're going to get to see some fans out there. But Mayor, thank you so much for stopping by. Rolo, appreciate you coming by.
Thank you.
And Ben, thank you so much, man.
Hey, Rock, thank you for having us, man. De veras, and we'll see you in Rio next week.
Oh yeah, ladies and
see you
gentlemen.
Saturday, man.
All right, y'all have a nice evening. We got to get going. It's 9:45 in the evening, and we are hashtag PVT. Everybody wave.